You know, I've been around long enough to notice something. Some folks sail right past 80 with a spring in their step, while others hit rough patches way too soon. And it's got me thinking, what's the difference? Well, a lot of it comes down to the little things we do, or don't do, after we hit 60. We've all got habits we've carried along, some good, some not so much, and the truth is, a few of them could be quietly chipping away at our golden years. So today, I want to sit down with you, maybe grab a glass of sweet tea, and talk about 8 mistakes I've seen folks make that might be cutting their time short. Better yet, I'll share what we can do instead to keep going strong and happy. Stick around till the end, because I've got some down-to-earth steps that could help you live those years to the fullest. Now, if this strikes a chord, I'd sure appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. It helps pass these lessons on to others who could use them. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click it, flip on the bell too, so you don't miss out. Oh, and drop a 1 in the comments if you're with me, or a 0, if I'm off the mark. I can take it. Let's kick things off with something I've seen too often. Folks brushing off those nagging health problems that creep up with age. You know what I mean. High blood pressure, sugar troubles, creaky joints, maybe a ticker that's not ticking quite right. After 60, these things start showing up like uninvited guests, and if you don't keep them in check, they'll overstay their welcome in a big way. I think about my old buddy Sam from up in Ohio. He's 72 now, and for years he shrugged off his blood pressure like it was just part of getting older. Kept saying, I'll deal with it later. Well, later turned into a scare with his heart one summer, and it shook him up good. Thing is, a lot of us do that, figure it's normal, or it's too much hassle with all the pills and doctor visits. Some don't even realize how serious it can get till it's too late. But ignoring it? That's like letting a leaky roof go unfixed. Pretty soon, the whole house is a mess. And let me tell you, the fallout's no picnic. Leave high blood pressure alone, and it can tear up your veins till you're looking at a heart attack or stroke. Let sugar troubles slide, and you might end up with bad kidneys or worse. Sam's lucky he caught it when he did, but not everyone gets that chance. It piles up, hospital stays, bills, a body that can't keep up, and it doesn't have to be that way. What I've learned is you've got to take the bull by the horns. Keep tabs on it, check in with your doc, stick to the plan, ask questions if you're stumped. Maybe get a nurse or your kids to help sort it out. It's not about fussing, it's about keeping yourself in the game for the long haul. Makes a world of difference, and it's a whole lot better than wishing you'd done it sooner. Let's keep this going with the next one that gets a lot of folks in a bind, sitting around too much. I've seen it happen plenty since I retired. You've got all this time on your hands, no more rushing to the office or chasing deadlines, and it's real easy to settle into a comfy chair and stay there. I'll admit, I've had my days where the recliner and I got a little too friendly. But here's the rub, letting yourself turn into a couch potato after 60 can sneak up and hit you hard. Your muscles start fading, your bones get brittle, and before you know it, you're creaking like an old barn door. It's not just about feeling stiff, it ups your odds for heart trouble, sugar problems, all that stuff we don't want knocking on our door. I think about my cousin Ellie down in Georgia. She's 68, and after she hung up her work boots, she figured she'd earned the right to take it easy. Problem is, easy turned into barely moving. Last time I saw her, she was struggling to get up the porch steps, and it wasn't just age. Sitting all day had sapped her strength, and she'd tell you herself it's made life tougher than it ought to be. That's the kicker. When you don't move, you lose the oomph to do the things you love. Next thing you know, you're depending on folks for every little chore, and that can weigh heavy on your spirit. Plus, it's a straight shot to more falls. Weak legs and wobbly balance don't mix well when you're our age. But it doesn't have to go that way. I've found you don't need to run marathons to turn it around, just a little motion goes a long way. I started taking walks around the yard, maybe 20 minutes after supper, nothing fancy. Keeps my legs limber and my heart happy. If walking's not your thing, try something gentle, swimming's easy on the joints, or maybe a bit of yoga if you're feeling spry. I've even picked up some light weights, just a couple pounds, to keep my arms from turning to jelly. And those Tai Chi moves? They're gold for staying steady on your feet. Point is, find something you don't mind doing. Heck, even dancing to the radio counts. A little every day, 15 or 30 minutes, and you'll feel the difference. Keeps you moving, keeps you smiling, and that's half the battle right there. Now let's talk grub, because what you put on your plate after 60 can either build you up or tear you down. I've always loved a good burger and fries, but piling on the junk, processed stuff, sugar, greasy bites, starts catching up quick. Your body's not as forgiving as it used to be, and a lot of us don't eat right for all kinds of reasons. Maybe food doesn't taste the same, or chewing's a chore, or you just can't be bothered to cook. I get it, I've leaned on frozen dinners more than I'd like to admit. But that stuff's packed with salt and junk that'll weigh you down, and it's a fast track to trouble if you're not careful. That junk on your plate can do a real number on you, weakens your defenses so every little bug knocks you flat, and if you're not getting the good stuff like vitamins, your bones thin out, and your energy's shot. I've seen it sap folks till they're dragging through the day, and it ups your odds for all those big health headaches, heart issues, sugar troubles, you name it. Took me a while to figure out I couldn't keep eating like I was 30, but once I did, it was a game changer. You don't have to go fancy, just aim for the real stuff. Load up on veggies, fruits, whole grains, a bit of lean meat, maybe some nuts for the good fats. Keeps you humming along instead of sputtering out. If chewing's tough, I've found blending up a smoothie works wonders. Toss in some spinach, a banana, whatever you've got. Still packs the nutrients without the hassle. I even got some tips from a diet gal at the clinic. Helped me sort out what my body needs now, not what it used to handle. Point is, eat like you're fueling up for the long haul, not just filling a hole. It's not about starving, it's about keeping the tank full with the right stuff. Makes you feel spry, heals you faster, and that's worth more than a quick burger any day. Next up's a big one, letting your mind and your social life gather dust. I've watched too many folks pull back after 60, retirement hits, friends drift, maybe you lose someone close, and suddenly you're on your own more than you'd like. It's easy to let that loneliness creep in, and if you're not careful, it drags everything down with it. I reckon it's as important as keeping your body moving, but it's trickier to spot. You start feeling cut off, maybe a little blue, and if you don't catch it, that slump turns into something heavier, depression, worry, the works. I've been there myself, days where I didn't want to pick up the phone or step outside, and it weighed on me more than I'd admit. Thing is, it's not just your heart that hurts, it messes with your whole system. Loneliness can jack up your blood pressure, stir up inflammation, even make you more likely to catch whatever's going around. And your head? It takes a hit too, memory gets fuzzy, focus slips. I saw it with my neighbor Ruth up in Michigan. She's 75, and after her husband passed, she stopped coming out. Got quiet, got shaky, and it wasn't long before she wasn't herself anymore. Breaks my heart, because it didn't have to go that way. You've got to keep those connections alive. Call your kids, meet a buddy for coffee, join a card game at the community center. Heck, I started volunteering at the library just to chat with folks, and it's like a shot of sunshine every time. And don't shy away from help if you need it. Talking to a pro can lift that fog when it's thick. I've taken to sitting quiet some mornings, just breathing slow, and it settles me down. Pick up a hobby too, whittling, knitting, whatever lights you up. Keeps your mind ticking and your spirits high, and that's a double win right there. Now let's talk about something I've wrestled with myself, sleep, or the lack of it. After 60, it's like your bed turns into a battlefield some nights. Maybe it's the aches keeping you up, or those pills you're taking throw things off, or just the way age messes with your clock. I've had plenty of nights where I'm staring at the ceiling, or waking up before the birds, and it's no picnic. You figure it's just how it goes, but letting sleep slip through your fingers is a bigger deal than it seems. When you don't get that deep, good rest, you're dragging all day, fuzzy-headed, tripping over your own feet, and it wears you down more than you'd think. I've noticed it's not just about feeling tired, it's deeper than that. Skimp on sleep too long, and your body's defenses take a hit, leaving you open to every cold that's floating around. Your heart feels it too, blood pressure creeps up, and the risk of bigger trouble like a stroke starts climbing. Your brain's the real loser though, can't sort through the day, can't hold on to things like it should. I've caught myself forgetting little stuff after a bad stretch of nights, and it's a wake-up call. You don't want that piling up till you're stumbling through life half awake. But here's the fix, it's about setting yourself up right. I've been trying to hit the hay same time every night, even weekends, just to keep things steady. A little wind down helps too, maybe a chapter of a book, some soft tunes, nothing too wild. If it's still a fight, I've learned it's worth talking to the doc. Could be something like apnea or restless legs kicking up dust. And the bedroom matters, cool, dark, quiet, with a mattress that doesn't feel like a rock. I cut out coffee after supper and skip the late night snacks, and it's made a difference. Sleep's not a luxury, it's fuel, and you've got to treat it that way to keep rolling. Then there's this one that gets a lot of us, brushing off those little warning signs. You know how it is, bit more tired than usual, dropping a few pounds without trying, maybe a twinge that won't quit. Easy to chalk it up to getting older and keep on trucking. I've done it myself, figured a dizzy spell was just a fluke till it happened one too many times. My pal Tom out in Colorado did the same, kept saying his stomach aches were nothing, till they found something nasty brewing. Took him longer to bounce back because he waited. Thing is, those whispers from your body can be shouting about something bigger, heart trouble, cancer, you name it, and ignoring them lets it fester. You've got to listen close and act quick. If something's off, pain that sticks, memory fuzzier than it should be, don't sit on it. Jot it down, tell your doc, get it checked. I keep a little notebook now, helps me spot patterns when I'm talking to the sawbones. Regular checkups are gold too, catches stuff before it's a monster. And if you're not getting answers, don't be shy about a second look. It's not fussing, it's keeping yourself in the driver's seat, and that's where you want to stay. Let's move on to one that's tough to shake for some, leaning too hard on the bottle or the smokes. I've known folks who've carried those habits since they were kids, and after 60, it's like trying to pry a rusty nail out of a board. I'll fess up, I enjoyed a cold beer or two in my day, and I puffed a pipe now and then back when it seemed harmless. But the years pile up, and that stuff starts hitting different. Smoking tears up your lungs, clogs your pipes, and drinking too much, it's a wrecking ball on your liver and your ticker. You don't feel it day to day, but it's stacking bricks against you, and it's a heavy load to carry into these later years. I think about my old fishing buddy Hank from down in Tennessee. He's 70, been lighting up since he was a teenager. Always said he'd quit tomorrow, but tomorrow never came. Last year, he started coughing something fierce, and now he's tethered to an oxygen tank half the time. Breaks my heart, because it didn't have to go that far. Booze does its own damage, muddles your head, weakens you up, leaves you open to every bug that floats by. And the fallout? You're looking at cancer, heart trouble, strokes, a life that's shorter and harder than it ought to be. Keeps you from the good stuff, walking the grandkids to the park, kicking back with friends, because you're too winded or worn out to move. But here's the good news, you can turn it around, and it pays off quick. Ditch the smokes, and your lungs start clearing up fast, better breathing, less risk down the line. Ease off the drinking, stick to a glass or two if you must, and your heart and liver get a breather. I cut back years ago, and I swear I feel lighter for it. Takes some grit, no doubt, Hank's still fighting that battle, but there's help out there. Docs, counselors, quit groups, they've got tricks to tame the cravings. I've found swapping a beer for a walk or a smoke for a whittle keeps my hands busy and my mind off it. You don't have to go cold turkey overnight, just nudge it down, and you'll see the difference. Now let's hit something that trips up a lot of us, messing up the medicine cabinet. After 60, it's not uncommon to have a handful of pills to juggle, blood pressure, joints, whatever's ailing you. I've got my share, and keeping 'em straight's no picnic. You forget a dose, mix up the times, maybe double up by accident. I've done it, staring at those little bottles like they're a puzzle. Gets worse if your eyes aren't sharp or the labels are a blur. And with all the rules, take this with food, not that one, it's a wonder we don't throw our hands up and call it quits. Thing is, those slip-ups aren't small potatoes. Miss a pill, and your pressure spikes. Take too much, and you're woozy, or worse. I've had days where I wasn't sure if I'd taken my morning dose, and it threw me off till I got it sorted. Get it wrong long enough, and you're brewing new problems, hospital trips, stuff that won't budge even with the right fix. It's a tightrope, but you don't have to walk it blind. You can keep that medicine mess in line with a little planning. It's not as hard as it looks. I started keeping a list, just a scrap of paper with what I'm taking, when, and how much. Keeps me straight, and I hand it to my doc so we're on the same page. Got myself one of those pill boxes too, little slots for each day, and it's a lifesaver. No more guessing if I took the darn thing or not. I set a buzzer on my watch to nudge me when it's time, and if I'm still stumped, I'll holler at the pharmacist. They're wizards at spotting mix-ups. Saved me once when two pills didn't play nice together. If it's all too much, there's folks who'll pack 'em up for you, daily doses delivered right to your door. Point is, get it organized, and you're not just dodging trouble, you're making sure those meds do their job right. It's funny how these slip-ups tie together, isn't it? Let your health slide, sit too much, eat junk, and it's like you're handing the keys to your golden years over to chance. I've been around long enough to see it play out. Folks who didn't catch those chronic bugs early end up stuck in a chair, living on chips because cooking's too hard. Or they let their spirits sink and sleep goes haywire, ignoring little signs till they're big ones. Booze and smokes pile on, and then they're fumbling pills because the days blur together. It's a tangle, but you don't have to let it knot up like that. Little fixes, watching your aches, moving a bit, eating smart, keep it from spinning out of control. Take my neighbor Clara. She's 66, and she used to shrug off her sugar troubles, figured a candy bar wouldn't hurt. Sat around most days, didn't sleep worth a lick, and her pill bottles were a jumble. Last spring, she took a tumble, weak legs, foggy head, and it was a wake-up call. She's pulling it together now, but it's a harder climb than it needed to be. Me, I've been trying to stay ahead of it. I walk the block, grill up some fish instead of frying, keep my coffee dates with Tom to stay chipper. Sleep's still a work in progress, but I'm getting there. Lights out early, no late night snacks. And those warning signs? I don't let 'em slide anymore. Dizzy spell last month had me at the doc quick, just to be sure. It's all about keeping your hand on the wheel, you know? You don't have to fix everything overnight, just nudge it right day by day. I've cut the smokes down to nothing, swapped a beer for a glass of water most nights, and it's like I've got more wind in my sails. Pills are lined up, docs on speed dial, and I'm not letting the little stuff turn into big regrets. Makes me feel like I'm calling the shots, not just riding out whatever comes. That's the trick, stay on top of it, and these years don't just pass you by, they shine. You're not dodging bullets, you're building something solid, something that lasts, and there's a piece in that I wouldn't trade for anything. Here we are, wrapping up this little sit-down, and I've got to say, it's been good hashing this out with you. We've walked through 8 traps folks like us can fall into after 60, ignoring those nagging aches, sitting too long, eating junk, letting our spirits and sleep slip, brushing off warning signs, leaning on smokes or drinks, fumbling the pill bottles. They're sneaky, these mistakes, piling up quiet like till they've got you in a corner. But the flip side? We've got ways to dodge 'em, simple stuff that keeps us humming along instead of sputtering out. It's not about turning your life upside down, it's about steering it steady so these years glow instead of fade. I keep thinking how it all weaves together, like a quilt you patch up over time. Watch those chronic bugs, and you've got energy to move around instead of rusting in a chair. Eat right, fish, greens, good stuff, and you're not just feeding your body, you're keeping your mind sharp and your sleep sound. Stay connected, rest easy, and those little signs don't turn into big scares. Cut the vices, sort the meds, and you're not fighting yourself every step. I've been at it myself, grilling salmon instead of snagging fries, walking the yard instead of parking in front of the TV. Took me a while to shake the late nights, but I'm sleeping better, and I don't let a twinge slide without a check. It's a rhythm now, and I feel it, clearer head, steadier step, more pep to laugh with Tom over coffee. That's what it boils down to for me, having some say in how this all shakes out. I've seen folks like Sam and Clara stumble because they didn't catch it early, and it lights a fire under me to keep at it. You've got your own people in mind, I bet, someone you'd rather see grinning at the table than wrestling with regrets. These fixes aren't tough. Swap a burger for a salad, take a stroll, pick up the phone, hit the hay on time. They're like bricks you stack, building a wall that holds the rough stuff back. Every time you do it, you're not just dodging a bullet, you're carving out a day that's yours, full and bright. So, I hope you'll grab these bits and make 'em your own, tweak 'em to fit your road. Maybe start with a walk tomorrow, or swap a smoke for a chat with a pal, whatever feels right, give it a whirl. I'd reckon you'll feel the lift before long. And I'd love to hear how it goes. Drop a line in the comments with what you're trying or what's worked for you. It's not just for me, it's for all of us watching, swapping tricks to keep these years golden. If this rang true, give it a like, and hit subscribe so we can keep trading these nuggets of know-how. Thanks for sitting with me through this, it's been a real treat sharing it with you. Here's to living these days strong and full, catch you in the next one.